Hey guys, it's Joey Gonzalez here. Here's a chance for you guys to win a free pair of signed gloves by me. See the directions down below.
Welcome, everybody, to another episode of USA Podcast. Hey, today we have my very special athlete, guest, friend. He's almost like my son, Joet Gonzalez. Welcome, Joet.
Hey Milo, how's it going?
Good. How you doing?
Doing good, excited.
Who do you have there with you?
I got my little baby today. I got my little baby Lilo, so carry her everywhere with me. But yeah, man, just here, just chilling and ready to do this.
Very cool. Very cool. Well, thanks for making time out, coming out. Appreciate it, man. Always appreciate you.
Oh, thank you, Milo. Thank you.
Yeah. So let's start off by telling people a little bit about you, where you're born, where you're from, where you went to school, just a little bit about you.
Oh, well, I graduated here in Charter Oak High School. Was born in Glendora. Grew up in Glendora. I mean, I've been living in Glendora pretty much my whole life.
So you consider that? What do you tell everyone?
That's my city, man. That's my city.
That's
Glendora,
my
like
city.
I know every street, like anywhere. Like Glendora's my city. I've been there since pretty much since I was pretty much born. I was born there and raised there. Went to elementary at Cedar Grove,
Uh-huh.
Cedar Grove Elementary, and then Royal Oak middle school now, but at the time it was Royal Oak Intermediate School, and then Charter Oak High School, and then graduated class of 11. Turned pro at 18, and now I'm here looking for another world title shot.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Tell everybody about your family, real quick. How
You
many
know,
of you are there?
There's a total of 8 of us. 8 of us, a couple dogs in there. But
Pretty busy
yeah,
household
pretty
then, huh?
busy. There's always someone at the house. You know, there's always, family. Our family's like very close. My parents, I got my brothers, my sister there, my dog's there. But yeah, we're really tight. We do everything together, always with one another, and always together.
Very cool. Very cool. What about stuff that outside of family, outside of sports and stuff like that? What are some of your interests?
Uh, Honestly, I mean, I'm a really quiet guy. I don't really do too much. I go to the gym, come home, spend time with my family, do stuff around the house.
But I do know you compete on something else, right?
Uh,
Competitive, like on some game stuff or something
just
like
just
that.
with the kids, just here and there. Yeah, play little video games.
I hear
I'm
you guys talking. Yeah, I got you tonight. I
Yeah,
got you
man.
tonight.
I'm still like honestly like I'm 27 years old. I'm grown, but I still hang out with the kids. I'm not too cool to be like a little kid. I play video games. Play the games Fortnite, Call of Duty. Yeah, when I get time, I get on and I play PlayStation 4 with them. But now we recently moved from Glendora, so we got a house and just been doing stuff around the house. There's always something to do now that we moved. There's always something we got to do. So cleaning or organizing, unpacking still.
It's a long process,
yeah, it's
right?
a
A
long
lot of
process. And then obviously now
with
I
your
got
baby there.
my baby. I gotta take care of her too. Try to just spend time with her. Just spend
Yeah.
time with her. I don't want to be like just leave her at the house. Or it's just a dog and stuff like that. I try to carry her everywhere with me, and yeah, wherever I go, she goes.
Yeah. I noticed what you guys said a little bit ago about how you still hang out with the kids, you still take the kids, you still do certain things with the
Mhm.
kids. And when you talk about the kids, I don't think people really realize you're talking about the boxing family, JG boxing
Mhm.
family and stuff like that.
Yeah, exactly. Not just my family. I try to spend as much time with my family, but also like with the kids. We box. We go running. We train together. We go sparring places. Sometimes I'm not sparring, but I'll go and I'll go watch them. And then even out of boxing, we try to go like, oh, let's go bike riding. Let's go hang out here. Let's go do this. Try to be together because we're also a family in our boxing team.
Yeah.
With the JG boxing, we try to be together and support one another inside and outside the gym.
Yeah. I tell people all the time how special because of that, how humble and stuff like that. And I think a lot of people kind of outside of, the JG boxing, like, wow, he's really one of the top boxers in the world. Like most guys, when they reach a certain status, they're kind of like, nah, I can't do that no more. I'm
Yeah.
too cool for that, or
Yeah.
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I think that's what makes you special. And what do you think kept you so level minded and from getting that, you
Uh,
know?
I don't know. I've always felt a little different, a little bit different. But I mean, I just try to be,
Just be you.
that's just being me. That's who I am. Like I don't think it's like I said, I'm too cool not to play with the kids. I'm grown. I don't do this. I don't do that. I still we train at the same time with them. Nothing's changed just because I'm a professional now. Professionals usually train in the morning. No, I still train how I was as an amateur. I try to go running with them also, but obviously, as I grow up, there's other things that come in, and I have to make plans. But I try my best to do that. But most of the time, I'm with them all the time. Training on my Monday through Friday, I'm with them. Sometimes I'm with them at the running. Uh, but yeah, I mean, I'm just here, and just that's who I am. I'm just a normal guy, and
Yeah. That's cool though. That's cool. So growing up, did you play any other sports or anything like that?
growing up, I only did two other sports. When I started boxing at 10, my dad also put us in soccer. So we did that for one season. And then the second season was going to start, and my dad asked me and my brother Joe, because we started together. He asked us, like, all right, like, it's either soccer or boxing because there's only money for one. You guys got to pick. And he was hoping we pick soccer because, it's easier. Not easier. Not easier. It's just more fun. Like, you're with other kids. You're with other kids. You're having fun, and you're interacting.
And I think he realized
Eh,
your dad knew the sacrifices you're gonna
yeah,
have to make
yeah.
for
Yeah,
boxing.
because he said boxing wasn't easy. Obviously, you're getting punched. You're getting punched as a little kid who wants to do that. You're bleeding and stuff. And he was expecting us to say soccer, and no, like me and Joe, literally both of us, like we didn't even talk about it or anything. Or like I told Joe, like, oh, I'm gonna pick boxing. You have to come with me and stuff. No, like I said boxing and Joe said boxing. Like that's what we wanted to do, and he was surprised because it's hard to, a lot of little kids, they just want to have fun,
Hmm.
just want to have fun, and boxing was fun to us. Boxing was fun. We liked that one-on-one competition, and obviously competing with each other. Um,
And speaking of that, you guys
yeah,
are really competitive
competitive.
with
Yeah,
each other,
like
right?
when we were in the bags, like who could sprint faster, or who can hit the bags harder, something. So we liked that competition, and we picked boxing. He's like, boxing? He's like, yeah. It's like, all right, like if we get in this, like we're gonna go all out, all in. I'm like, yeah, let's go. Like that's what we want to do.
Yeah.
And we went from there. And then along the way in middle school, Jose was in sixth and I was in eighth, and Jose did cross country, cause for the running he wanted to do, like, for the running. Obviously, boxing, you gotta run, you gotta be in condition.
Yeah.
And I would go while he was at practice running. I would go and run the track or run around, and I was still going to the same middle school, but I didn't join the team. I don't know why. I just, I was always in boxing, and the coaches saw me running. And obviously, my dad was there and Jose was there, and like, oh, does he go to school here? And he's like, yeah. He's like, oh, how come he doesn't join? I'm like, you know what? Let me just join. And yeah, me and Jose did cross country for that season, and it was only one season. They wanted me to go in high school because obviously I was gonna be a freshman, but it was at freshman. I had put more time into it with the
Yeah.
team and stuff, and obviously, you're doing more there, and I didn't want to take my boxing time away, so I didn't do it. It was just one season of cross country, one season of soccer, and years of boxing. That's it.
So when you were a kid and when you're going through the process and everything like that, preparing for fights, and after a few years, did it seem like a sacrifice to you, or was it just like, nah, like you enjoyed the process? Did you enjoy it, or
Hmm.
were you just like, man, this kind of sucks,
Yeah.
I'm missing this, I'm missing that, or did you like, I don't mind because I'm enjoying what I'm
Hmm.
doing?
No, I didn't mind that. Like I didn't. No, I enjoyed the process. The only thing I honestly did sacrifice was just like a little, snacks because I was a chubby kid when I was little. Like I was big,
Can
like
we
in
flash a little picture of him back when?
I was big, but the weird thing is like none of my siblings, not even Joe's. I'm sure my parents, but they didn't say nothing. But Joe's didn't see that I was fat. My other siblings didn't see I was fat. Like till we look back in the day, we look at pictures like, dang, you were big, and like we don't.
Well, it's funny though that you say that. You guys never said that when you were younger,
Mhm.
but now
We
you
say it
guys
all the
come in
time.
here
Yeah,
and
yeah.
it's like, "What's up, fat boy?
Yeah,
What's up
yeah.
this? What up that?"
Yeah, we
It's like-
check each other because sometimes we be eating, a little too much now. We get a little, a little loose, and we gotta check each other. You're eating too much, or you've been snacking on this too much, or why you sweating a lot today? We're doing the same thing. Like you've been eating a lot, you've been eating a lot of calories. But yeah, I was heavy, and the only thing I honestly sacrificed was I was like a lot of, if you ask a 12-year-old, what do you want to eat? A salad or some pizza, burgers and fries? Like they would pick the burgers and fries. Who wants to eat a salad? So as a kid, I sacrificed those type of things. But no, I had fun. I enjoyed myself. Um,
See, I think a lot of people don't realize, and to get to like the level where you're at right now,
mhm.
I was just talking to someone else about this, and you can't think of things as a sacrifice.
Yeah,
You have to enjoy the
yeah,
process, right? If you
exactly.
enjoy the process, then the success comes easier
Hmm.
versus, oh man, I gotta sacrifice this, because
Yeah.
then it's always in the back of the
Yeah,
mind.
because then obviously, if you're doing that, then you're doing something you don't really love.
Yeah.
And this is what I like. This is what I've been doing since I was 10. I've been boxing pretty much my whole life, and I
Did you
enjoy it.
know?
I
Did you
enjoy it.
know when you first started,
I
or
knew, I knew the moment. Yeah, I knew exactly when I
when
wanted to
when
do
when
it.
when was that? Like,
Um,
when did you think
like when
like,
I said I want to do this, like I really want to do this. I saw the fight, De La Hoya versus Vargas, Fernando Vargas, and I just like I seen the crowd and I was like, oh man, like how everybody was going for De La
how many
Hoya
years
early.
had you been boxing already?
Nothing at
Oh, you
all.
hadn't even
Not I
started
haven't
yet.
even started. I just seen that fight, and I remember looking how the crowd, like the reaction, everybody was like, happy Oscar, like cheering for Oscar, and the attention he got, and I was like, oh man, like he's famous and he has money and cars and all this thing, and I asked my dad like, oh, like he did all that just because he does this, and he's like, yeah, and then I was like, yeah, and he's like, all right, like I want to try that. And obviously, my dad boxed back in the day, so he had his own gear and stuff, and me and Joseph would mess around with it here and there. But yeah, we wanted a box, and it honestly took us a while since that fight to get in a gym. We were training at the house. I guess I don't know if my dad was, um, kind of like hoping we would forget about it
Making it harder for you
yeah,
at the
making it
time to.
water, yeah, harder, and hoping it like would fade away, like that little moment. It's just like a little moment thing.
Yeah.
I'm guessing that's what he thought. And now we were training at the gym, and then we were bugging him. I still remember like when he would come home from work, and we would bug him. Oh, we're gonna go to look for a gym today. Like go look for a gym to box. And he would say, oh, maybe next week. I'm tired, this and that. And no, it never faded away. We kept bugging, bugging, bugging. And then when we actually went, they told us that I could box. I was 8 years old at the time, but Joe's couldn't
Yeah.
because Joe's was too young. Joe's had to be 8. So we found the gym, and then for nothing, I had to wait 2 more years till Joe's because my dad wanted us to start together.
Yeah.
And then I was 10, but we went to another gym in Azusa Youth Boxing Club. That's where I started. And then we started there. Me and Joe started there. We kept bugging, so it never dried out. It never dried out. We kept bugging my dad about it, and he took us. And then we started for about 5 months. Did the soccer at the same time, so we would go boxing for an hour and a half, and then go to soccer practice. And then it was time to pick. It was time to pick, and we went with the boxing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So starting off over at Azusa Boxing, and now you guys having your own boxing team club now. Did you think it was gonna become that from?
Eventually,
Did you had
not in the
visions of
beginning.
that? Did you
Yeah,
have visions
at
of it though?
visions. Yeah, like later on. Like I think probably like when I started my pro career,
Yeah.
somewhere around there, maybe 19, 20 years old. I started thinking like, what if we have our own gym, our own
team
team
and
and like our own name. But like in the beginning, no, in the beginning when I started, I just wanted to, be famous, have money, um, buy a house. That was one of my biggest goals: buy a house, and that was it. But then as my career went on, I wanted to do other things. Like obviously get a gym and with our own name, and stuff like that. But
yeah.
yeah.
Very cool. Very cool. So, growing up, did you have anyone that you looked up to or anything like that? I know your dad was a
hmm
huge influence on you.
Yeah, I think
Like who instilled the work ethic that you have
mhm,
into you? Like where did you, because I mean, when you come in here, it's not like you're just like, oh,
mhm.
okay, whatever, and go through the motions and
Yeah,
stuff
yeah.
like that.
My dad, but there was times also that my dad like he would try to like, all right, we're gonna do today. We're running 3 miles, but at a fast pace. Like we always run different. Like sometimes we'll go long distance, sometimes we'll go short, but it had to be quicker. Sometimes we'll go sprints, sometimes we'll do hills. Like it was always a different type of exercise. And then one day he's like, all right, like when we were little, I think we were like I was 12, maybe 13. Like, all right, I want you guys to do 2 miles in this amount of time. And I was like, no, I want to do 3 miles. Like I'm gonna do another mile extra. And I would always push myself. And then like sit-ups. All right, we're doing this many sets of sit-ups, these many reps. And I'm like, no, I'm gonna do 10 more each rep.
Hmm.
And I would always push myself. And there was other kids with us at the time too, like that would go do those workouts with us, and they would hate it because my dad would to make us do like, let's say, sets of reps of 20, and like sets like a lot of different types of sets. But it was like 20. I'm like, no, I'm gonna do 30. Like, oh my god, like here's like Joy at it again. Like doing more than what he
Yeah.
asked. And yeah, I would always push myself. Always push myself more. And now it's a little different. Like I still push myself, but I try to, I'm not that young little kid no more. Sometimes, my shoulder could be hurting or my knee could be hurting. I'm like, no, I want to push myself, but I think
You
through
know
it, like,
when to
yeah, like I
when
think
to take it to
smarter.
that. Yeah.
Like I think to myself, like, all right, like this is hurting. Like I'm not fighting anytime soon, or let
Take
me
the foot
hold
off the
yeah let me
pedal a
yeah
little
let me
bit.
hold back a little bit.
Yeah.
Let me recover. If I was fighting, then I would have no choice. I would have to do something or make the movement a little different or to do
You
it.
work around it.
Yeah, to
Yeah.
work around it and to do it because obviously I had to get the job done because I'm gonna be fighting. But now it's a little different. But yeah, I try to push myself when I can. I try to do the most when I can,
Yeah.
and
I think a lot of people don't know this. I've known you for a long time, and I think your dad instilled that work ethic back in the day. When how old were you when
I was man. I think I was
you were
like
little?
eight or 9 years old. Yeah, because I think it was before I started boxing.
Yeah, it was before you
Yeah,
guys started
I
boxing.
was probably like 8 years old.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and what time would you guys get up?
I think we got up like at 3 or 4 like 3:34 in the morning.
To come and do
Yeah,
some work, right?
to come do the kettle corn. My dad used to do kettle corn. We used to do a lot of like wherever my dad go. My dad used to do like go work, and I always used to do like little side jobs. Like his friends needed his car fixed. My dad would go do that. The restroom broke down. My dad would go do that. AC. My dad would do any type of work.
Not afraid to get his hands dirty
Nothing
and
like
figure it out.
he'll do everything. You know, cars, everything. He'll repair anything, painting, windows, whatever. You name it, he'll do it. And me and Joe, so all the time. All right, let's go. Tomorrow we're gonna go here. Next week we're gonna go here, and we would always go help him do the work. Um, and yeah, man, I remember the kettle corn business. We would get up early, 3:30, 4 a.m. and go sell kettle corn. I think it was Nogales High
Nogales, yeah.
School. I would go do that, and yeah, just working. We didn't even have we had a childhood. We had fun,
Yeah,
but we did a lot more working.
yeah.
Yeah,
And you still owe me a ball, right?
yeah, yeah. That's another story. Yeah, one day, yeah, when we were at your house, I don't know what job we were doing there, but me and Joseph were there and we were bored. My dad would tell, go take a break. Like he would let us like, rest. Go take a break, go do something. And I seen what is it, the Swiss ball.
Swiss ball.
And I'm like, all right, Joseph, we started kicking the ball, going back and forth. And I think I kicked it too hard and it went to the rose bush and it popped. And I was like, oh man. And then I told my dad, hey, I popped this shit. And he's like, you know who that is? That's Milo. He's gonna get mad, this and that. He's like, wait till he gets like home. You're gonna go up to him and tell him you popped the ball and take him the ball. And I was like, oh my god, I was nervous. And then yeah, nothing happened. You're like, oh, I still remember. Oh, it's okay, it's cool. My dad's like, oh, how much it is? And you're like, no, it's cool. But yeah, man, that was.
Whew. That's
Yeah,
funny.
but I was nervous the whole day.
So when being in the boxing industry and stuff like that, are there any pro boxers when you were younger? Like, who did you look up to?
I liked watching Marco Antonio Barrera, Juan Manuel Marquez, uh, De La Hoya. Those are like the guys I like to watch. Like their fights. Their fights are always exciting. They left everything in the ring. Bloodied, and they show no
It didn't
pain,
matter,
and,
right?
and they would get the job done. And yeah, those are the type of styles I like too. The smart guys coming forward, aggressive, uh, Mexican style, but also they're thinking in there too. Like Marquez is not just he thinks. Barrera too. He thinks. De La Hoya, and they're aggressive and they're exciting. So those are the guys that I looked up to, and I like their style of fights,
Yeah.
the way they fight. Yeah.
So one of the things that I see, and I want to get it from an athlete's perspective, right, is I see athletes. Some athletes are just built different, and I consider you one of them. As far as the mental part and just the work ethic behind it, right? But I see the difference dealing with elite athletes like yourself, and then with general population, right? So the everyday adults and stuff like that, and kids, and what it takes to get to that next level. What do you see the difference between yourself and someone who just goes to a regular job, like work ethic wise? I mean, I don't know if people truly realize the dedication that comes with it, and we always talk about this, right? You don't play boxing.
No,
Everybody goes, oh, I can't wait to play this.
Yeah.
Oh, you want to play boxing?
Yeah,
You're going
I
to
used
feel the
to,
play, right?
man, I used
So,
to hate it when people like at school, like everybody, be doing track, cross country, soccer, football, baseball. Like, oh, I play baseball. Oh, I play football. Like, oh, what do you do? Oh, I box. I never said I played boxing. I just said, oh, I box. It's like, oh, you play boxing? Like, no, fool, I box. I don't play boxing. You don't play boxing because you if you're trying to play in boxing, you're gonna get hurt. Boxing is serious. But I think the difference, like between the public and us, like elite athletes, I think it's something like I said that we love. I can do it for free. I did it for free for many years as an amateur.
in the amateur.
In the amateur, since I was 10 till I was 18, I did it for free. It's something that I love. I love competing. I love the traveling. The sacrifice, the dedication you have to put in it, the work. I could do it for free, and I don't think the public, they just come in here and like they just do it because they I guess they want to they want to be slimmer for the public or something. Like, nah, I'm cool how I am. I mean, I'm doing it because I like it. People just want to work out just because, I don't know, I guess doctor tells them, or something,
Yeah.
but it's not something they want to do. And I think that's the difference. We want to do it, and we love what we do.
Yeah, and the other thing I'm kind of going towards too is how many times a day do you work out?
And 7 times a week. 7 times a week, Monday through Sunday, no break. We train at the gym Monday through Friday, and then Saturdays and Sundays we run.
What times are you sometimes here at? I don't think people realize
man.
that,
I
right?
get up at 4 in the morning sometimes. Get here at 5. Put my little strength and conditioning, obviously with you, and then again at 4 p.m. here at the gym. 4 p.m. I could be here till 7:30, and then lately sometimes I've been teaching the class after that. If I finish early, I'll be here at 7 till 8 o'clock. Um, but yeah, I mean it's 7 times a week, 24/7. Saturdays we do our running. Sometimes we do strength and conditioning in the morning and then run in the evenings. So sometimes we in the weekends we do two workouts also. But
And then even
yeah.
outside of here, though, I think the difference is, especially when you're in camp, right?
Hmm.
It's not like, okay, cool. My day was only consisted of 3, 4 hours,
Hmm.
and then I could go do whatever. You have to be on point with
Yeah.
what you're eating, getting the sleep,
The
getting the
sleep,
rest,
the
getting.
sleep, the mostly the sleep. Yeah, cause I get up when it's camp. I'm all in. I'm all in. The only locations you'll find me, my house at the gym, my house at the gym. Like I don't do nothing else. Like I just get up. Let's say if I gotta go to run or I gotta come here, go back, sleep, uh, eat what I have to eat, in order to perform for my next workout at the gym. Come here, go home, eat, shower, and sleep, and just the same thing over and over.
Yeah.
And it's a lot of people be like, "Oh man, like that's boring," but like when I'm winning or they see me doing this and or doing that, they're like, "Oh, you're lucky." And like, no, man, it's not luck. This is what I had to do to get here.
Yeah.
There's no luck. Like, don't you had, we all had the same chance. We
Hmm.
all had the 24 hours, but the difference is,
What you do
yeah,
within
what you
that
do with
24
it.
hours.
Those other people wanted to have fun, be with friends, enjoy whatever they had to
Because when
do.
you're in camp,
Yeah,
I mean, you have friends that you hang out with, or you go
hmm,
here and there with, and stuff like that. But during camp, we won't find you
yeah,
anywhere
anywhere.
outside of the gym and home.
Man, home, like nothing. Like I won't go to no public things unless I have to, like for like boxing media stuff like that. But like party or a little get together or breakfast with friends or something like that. Nothing. I don't know. You don't see me. I don't go on. I don't. I stick to myself and I do what I gotta do.
Yeah. And talking about partying and stuff like that, I don't think everybody truly knows. You're 27, you said, right?
27.
And everyone's, I mean, even other boxers, right?
Mhm.
Elite boxers and stuff. You always see them afterwards at their after parties, partying and this and
Yeah.
that. What do you typically do after a win?
Uh, I usually go with my family. We go out to eat. There. If we don't, we go home. Go home. We don't stay. Very very rare. I don't even think we stayed at the hotel before. Like as a family, none of us. We usually go home. We go home. We came. We had to do. We handle our business.
It's all
Go
about
home.
business. How
Yeah,
about
all
getting
about
the
business.
job done
Just get the
and
job done. Go home, rest, and we celebrate as a family the next day. Whether breakfast in the morning or call our friends that supported us and went to the fights and eating dinner or something like that. But no, we go home. But yeah, man, there's fighters like they sacrifice like the alcohol and stuff like that during camp.
speaking of alcohol, do you drink at all or
Nothing. No, I don't drink at all. Nothing. I
27
at
years old, huh?
27. I think my first alcohol drink I had, I was 22. 22. So even not even at 21, how people are like, "Oh, I'm 21. I want to have a drink when I'm 21." I'm like, I think to myself, those people like you really, if you really think like that, like, "Oh, I can't wait till I'm 21 to have a first drink." Like what are you doing with life? Like, is that what you all you expect?
Yeah, is
Like is
that
that
what?
that big of you? Like
Yeah, I get it.
to me, it's like not like when I'm 21, I want to have, I want to be doing this. I want to have this. I want to have that. But
Yeah.
no, they just want to like, oh, I want to have a drink. Like, nah. But yeah, the fighters, they sacrifice that. But then after the fight, you see them, drinking an alcoholic drink. Like, what's the point of that? Like it's killing your body. It's killing your body, and you're not. To me, I see it like, oh man, like you really didn't, like you weren't really training for the fight. You just like you did it, and then like your moment was that alcohol drink. Like, oh, you wanted the fight to be finished so you can do
So
this.
you could party
Yeah,
afterwards and
afterwards. And it's like those people are in the wrong sport.
yeah.
But yeah, I mean, my first alcoholic drink, I ordered a margarita. It was at my sister's graduation, when she graduated high school, and took a sip of it. I gave it to my mom.
You didn't even finish it, right?
Nothing. Like I didn't even make a dent in it. I gave it to my mom. Like I can't. This is. I don't like it. I don't like the smell of it.
You take
I don't like the
coffee over
taste.
that,
I'll
right?
take a coffee any day. I don't like the
Anytime?
smell. Yeah, anytime. The smell, the taste, nothing. I just gave it to my mom. Here, you drink this.
Yeah.
And yeah, that was it.
Cool, man. Cool. So is there anything a motto that you live by or anything like that, or quotes or anything or sayings that
Uh,
you feel?
I just I tell myself I like to tell myself a lot like try not to learn from your own mistakes. Learn from other people's mistakes. Cause why make that mistake and then like everybody
I
does
should have
mistakes.
listened
I
to
should
him.
listen this and that and then why go through the trouble and that type of pain or something like if you've seen this person ended up like this because he did that, look at that, learn from that.
Yeah.
That's what I that's what I like to do.
Yeah.
And yeah, just stuff like that. And I think that's one of the biggest things that like where I'm at. Like I like to see other people's mistakes,
Yeah.
how they ended up, or if it benefited them, and if it didn't benefit them, then go another route. But that's one of the things I do.
That's awesome, man. Wow. Is there anything else that you want to tell anyone that nobody knows anything about? Anything special?
I'm just a quiet guy, simple guy, just doing my boxing, training with my dog. Nothing crazy. I'm simple, uh, and I'm happy. I'm happy with my family, and I'm doing good, and everything's great.
That's awesome. So when should we expect to see you back in the ring?
Oh man, I'm hoping in May. In May, we were planning March, but obviously the pandemic, it's been crazy. It's been tough on everything, like the whole worldwide.
Yeah.
So I'm hoping May, um, get that win, and then be back in August or September for another world title.
Cool, man. Well, thanks again, Joy, for coming out, making the time.
Thank you, Milo.
So if people want to follow you and stuff like that, is your page open
Oh
or
yeah,
do
my
you?
page is open. You can follow me on Instagram at Joey Gonzalez, public, and follow me and support me.
Yeah. Well, cool, man. Well, thanks for bringing Lilo.
She's knocked out.
Snoring
She had
over
a
there. I'm sure
early
everybody
morning.
heard her. Yeah, in her pajamas still.
In her
Couldn't
PJs,
even
yeah.
change. All right, cool. Thanks again, Joy. Appreciate you,
Milo.
man.
Appreciate it.
All right, everybody. Thanks again. Tune in next week. Peace.